How to increase property value? Let's be real here, guys. It's easy to add value to a property. You spot a problem and you fix it. It's as simple as that. Like the backyard garden might have been awful when you purchased that property, so you decided to do it up, and guess what? Automatically you've added value. And we all know that statistics show that the most impressionable part of a property that leaves the most powerful mark on people viewing it is going to be the kitchen, guys. So it's easy to add value in that sense, and we all know that. But what I'm talking about in this video is truly how to increase property value so that you can profit from it, whether you're selling a house, refinancing, or even renting out. Now that's a bit trickier to do, because instead of just worrying about that one thing, your property price going up, you now have a second thing to consider, and that's keeping your investment costs down low, guys. You need these two things to work in hand for you so that you can truly add some value to your property and profit from it. Don't worry though, because I'm going to be telling you all about how to increase property value the right way in this video. So make sure to like this video, share it too, and subscribe and notification bell on as well, so that you don't miss out on any more new content just like this one. So back to the subject at hand, how to increase property value. And hands down, my number one way to go about doing this is by running the numbers. What do the numbers say? Because ultimately that's what it boils down to, What are you looking to improve? How much will it cost you to improve those things? And more importantly, will it reflect in the property's value going up too? I really like this approach, guys, because it completely gets rid of your bias, lets you solely focus on what's important, the financials. It's simple. If making these improvements isn't justified in the property value going up significantly, then really is it worth doing? No, probably not. And this brings me on to my second point. You want your property to stand out, guys, but emphasis in a good way. Because if you actually do it in a negative way, then things can flip over and reverse, You can actually hinder your property from going up in value. I can't tell you the number of times I've heard people claim that they're adding value to their property, when really all that they're doing is narrowing down the group of people that property appeals to. It's kind of like you buying a car, but you knowing that you're going to sell your car, and you decide to paint it your favorite color, lime green. Yeah, it's all well and good when driving the car, but when it comes time to moving the car on, you're probably going to struggle, guys, because not many people want a lime green car. And this comes down to you narrowing down your options based on a decision that suits you. Whereas what you should have done instead was been as neutral as possible, thought about the long term, so that it appeals to more customers or property valuers that are going to be helping you refinance your property. Whereas standing out in a good way can do wonders for you in the exact same situation. Imagine if on-street parking was an issue in your neighborhood. During peak hours, it's very competitive to get a car spot. You see, by you building a driveway on your property, you instantly stand out in a good way, because you now have something that the other properties need but don't have. And trust me when I say this, people that you're looking to sell to and refinance at will definitely pick up on it as well. My next point that I feel you should consider when you're looking at how to increase property value is to be cheap. But keep up at the right time, guys, because you can't be cheap with everything, like doing up a roof the cheap way, or by cutting corners by hiring dodgy cowboy builders to build your kitchen, for example. Things along this nature are probably going to prove more costly in the long run if you go by the cheap route. In those cases, I would suggest focusing on getting the job done properly and at a reasonable price. That's why, as a rule of thumb, I like to go cheap on the aesthetics that go into that property. So it might be the case of me painting a wall rather than paying for someone to paint a wall. Or it might be the case of me choosing a cheaper tile material rather than picking the more pricier one. These are things that offer a visual benefit to the property that I'm specifically talking about. And by the way, just because it's cheap doesn't mean it has to look bad either. Oh no, not for me. In most cases, it looks just as good, but at a fraction of the price. The best example is marble versus porcelain. These are the worktop spaces that go into your kitchen. Now, porcelain works out as 2 to 5 times cheaper than marble is, but it does the exact same thing and looks exactly the same. I know which one I'm going to go for. Porcelain, please. And by making those cheaper alternatives, you're further enlarging in that gap between the investment cost and the added value to the property. My fourth and final thing to consider is expanding the size of your property. Whether you're going upwards or going outwards, generally speaking, this will tend to reflect a significant price rise of the property, because a bigger property tends to almost always be worth more than a smaller one. But what I will say though is that you want to crunch the numbers first before doing anything. You need your property to rise so much that it's more than able to several times cover your investment costs doing that. Otherwise, it's not worthwhile doing. In conclusion, guys, those are the 4 things that I like to look at when it comes to how to increase property value, But there's one thing that supersedes everything else, and that's doing the maths. Some properties might need fixing here, other properties might need fixing over there. But one thing stays true, it's the numbers, guys. Will this property's price rise so much to justify you putting in that initial investment cost? The numbers don't lie. But that's the end of my video, guys. I hope this video has added value to your life as much as it's added value to your property. If it has, make sure to like this video, share it too, and subscribe with the notification bell on as well. It's your favorite YouTuber, guys, Dear Learn Finance, sharing my thoughts, my experiences with you guys every Sunday at 3 p.m. Have a great day, people. Bye.